Mom, I have got to talk to you about the boys. They are wearing me thinner than an anorexic girl getting ready for prom.
Now Frank, you know that children can be a handful.
No, stepping on a beehive while wearing a yellow jacket can be a handful. Paul is only 8 years old, and he is completely out of control. I'm seriously debating putting him on a leash. He refuses to do his homework. He picks fights in the lunchroom. He threw a rock through the principal's window. And when his teacher wanted to show the class a movie on science, he put a magnet in the VCR, so it would not work.
Well, how are his grades?
Lower than the ball sack on a midget.
They cannot all be bad.
Well, he did pass gym, because he is good at basketball, but on his math test he drew a smiley face as the answer to what is 9 times 3. When the teacher asked who shot Kennedy, he said that it was probably a black guy, and when he was supposed to do a book report he wiped his ass on a piece of toilet paper, wrote his name on it, and handed it in with a shit-eating grin on his face.
I will admit that is even worse than you behaved at that age. And if you recall, you tried to bring home a baby alligator as a pet. Is Tommy behaving?
Well, compared to his brother, he is a saint. He is a smart kid, but he is also a wise ass, sarcastic, has little to no regard for authority, and only does the bare minimum when it comes to schoolwork.
Oh Frank, he is only 5 years old. I am sure he will grow out of all of those bad habits, and at least he gets good grades.
That is part of the problem. He is great in math.
How is that a bad thing?
Well, since it is so easy for him, he does not pay attention, and instead makes paper airplanes out of book covers, and throws them out the window. Then whenever the teacher gives back exams or homework, he laughs at all of the kids who did poorly, and tells them how stupid they are. And then there was the incident on Columbus Day.
What happened on Columbus Day?
He had to make a presentation on Columbus.
Did he do it?
Oh yes. He went up, and in front of a class of first graders explained how Columbus went around killing Indians and raping women. The teacher was horrified, and half of the kids were crying, while Tommy sat in the front of the class laughing at everyone.
Well, it sounds like he may be a little advanced for his age.
Well, his handwriting sure isn't. It looks like he writes with the pen in his mouth. The teacher tried to make him write with his right hand, and he told her that might be a good idea, because that way, while he is taking a test, he would be able to throw things at her.
That does not sound like he is much better than Paul.
I have not gotten to the worst of Paul's behavior. The other day he wanted a gumball from a machine, and when I told him no, he kicked the machine so hard that it fell over and shattered into a million pieces. He thought that it was so funny he started kicking over all of the machines, and when the store owner tried to chase him out, he ran behind the counter, took a lighter, and started lighting the curtains on fire.
Maybe they need to get out and play more.
That's the thing. The only thing Tommy ever wants to do is play baseball. I take the boys to the baseball field next to the school all day.
Frank, you had better be careful. The grass is high, they may get ticks.
That grass is at least 10 feet high. If all they get is ticks, I will be happy. For all we know, there could be wild pit bulls running around there.
Maybe they would behave better if they went to church.
They have enough problems as it is. I don't need some pervert trying to play with their giblets. I went to Catholic school for 10 years, and the only thing I learned was not to bend over to pick up money, or you would be in for a rude awakening. Anyway, hope this is just normal boys being boys behavior.
It has to be. It is not as though they will be in their mid to late 20s and the only thing Tommy will have motivation for is playing baseball, and Paul would still be stealing everything. That is not nailed down.